Hello and welcome to the channel. This is the CBSE Class 11 English Core Lesson 1, a photograph. The poem A Photograph describes a photo of the poet's mother and her two cousins at the beach, taken before the poet was born. The mother, about 12 years old, and is the eldest among the three girls, holding hands with her cousins, Betty and Dolly, as they smile for the camera held by an uncle. The sea in the background seems unchanged over time, unlike the girls who are described as terribly transient, means temporary. Years later, the mother would laugh while looking at the photo, remembering the beach holiday and how they were dressed. The poet cherishes her mother's laughter, but both the mother's memory of the past and the poet's memory of her mother are tinged with sadness due to loss. Now the mother has been dead for almost as long as he lived as that young girl in the photo. The poet feels a deep, silent grief about this loss, which leaves her speechless. The poem A Photograph by Shirley Toulson is a touching reflection on memory, loss, and the passage of time, centered around an old photograph of the poet's mother. The poem is divided into three stanzas, each capturing a different moment in time and emotion. In the first stanza, the poet describes a photograph showing her mother as a young girl around 12 years old, at the beach with her two younger cousins, Betty and Dolly. The girls are holding hands, standing still and smiling at the camera, which is held by their uncle. Their hair is blowing in the wind, and the poet notes her mother's sweet, youthful face captured before the poet was born. The sea in the background is described as unchanging, unlike the girls, whose lives are terribly transient. The sea washing their feet symbolizes the constant flow of time that contrasts with their short-lived youth. In the second stanza, the poet moves forward in time about 20 to 30 years later, when her mother would look at the photograph and laugh. The mother fondly recalls the beach holiday, pointing out her cousins Betty and Dolly and commenting on how they are dressed for the occasion. This memory brings joy to the mother, but the poet notes that both the mother's memory of that happy day and the poet's memory of her mother's laughter are bittersweet. The phrase "levered ease of loss" suggests that both the mother and the poet try to cope with their losses with a forced sense of acceptance, hiding their pain. In the third stanza, the poet reveals that her mother has been dead for nearly as many years as she was alive when the photograph was taken. This realization deepens the poet's grief. The loss is so profound that there are no words to express it, and the silence of this loss overwhelms the poet, leaving her speechless. The phrase, its silences, emphasizes the heavy, wordless sorrow that engulfs her when she thinks about her mother's absence. The poem uses simple yet powerful imagery to explore themes of time, memory, and mortality. The photograph serves as a frozen moment of happiness, contrasting with the inevitable changes and losses brought by time. The sea, a constant and unchanging force, highlights the fleeting nature of human life. The poet's tone is nostalgic and mournful, reflecting on both the joy of the past and the pain of losing her mother.